Every operation begins with a baseline of security. For Hansel and Gretel, that baseline is a cozy wooden cottage at the edge of the trees, complete with a strict primary directive from their father. Stay in the sunny front yard and do not wander into the deep forest. But protocols fail when subjects encounter an irresistible psychological lure. A glowing blue butterfly drifts past them on the breeze. It demands their attention, and the desire to see where this anomaly lives prompts a decision to cross the boundary line. From a child's perspective, the environment shifts rapidly. As they follow the butterfly, the bright afternoon light fades. The tree canopy closes tightly overhead. The sun begins to set, and the familiar front yard scales up into a massive, intimidating wilderness. This unchecked curiosity creates the first critical point of failure. By focusing entirely on a short-term distraction, they underestimate the sheer scale of the environment they are walking into. Hansel's proactive system uses small pieces of bread to lay down a return vector, breaking the route into trackable waypoints. But this logic has a fatal flaw. An active ecosystem of woodland birds eats the bread, completely erasing the vector. When they look down and see the bare dirt, the realization of total isolation hits them. The trail is gone, and they are surrounded by vast darkness. They immediately shift to a tactical adaptation. To stave off panic, they anchor themselves emotionally by holding hands tightly, and they utilize the natural terrain, a giant, soft, mossy tree root, to secure a safe shelter for the night. In an environment where logic-based tools fail, this physical and psychological anchoring prevents their situation from descending into a total breakdown. The next morning, a new lure targets their acute physical deprivation. Waking up cold and hungry, the children smell the rich, comforting scent of warm vanilla and sugar drifting through the trees. They follow the scent to a structural anomaly, a house built entirely out of sweet candy with a pink frosting roof and clear sugar windows. The exterior is specifically designed to mask the underlying threat. The trap's architect then reveals herself. A charming woman steps out into the warm golden light, offering them pancakes and chocolate syrup. By targeting their starvation and projecting maternal warmth, she prompts them to willingly drop their guard. Once they cross the threshold, the trap springs. The heavy chocolate door slams and locks shut. The brightly colored sanctuary reveals itself as a prison. The architect immediately neutralizes the primary leader. Hansel is forced inside an unbreakable cell made of thick, translucent sugar glass, removing him from the equation. An overt threat in the dark woods triggers a fight-or-flight response. But a hostile environment that successfully disguises itself as a sanctuary is dangerous because it disables threat detection until the point of capture. With the logic-focused brother incapacitated, survival demands an operational shift. Gretel, the reactive and highly clever sister, must step up to formulate an extraction plan. The pressure mounts when the witch demands Gretel check the massive, glowing magical stone oven to see if the fire is hot enough. It is a clear, immediate, and lethal physical threat. Gretel makes a rapid strategic assessment. She is too small to win via physical force, meaning her only viable option is asymmetric deception. She feigns total incompetence, pretending she doesn't know how to check the oven safely. This exploits the witch's arrogance, drawing her out of a secure stance and forcing her to lean far forward into a vulnerable position. As the witch peers into the heat, Gretel executes a kinetic counterstrike. She shoves her straight into the deep, messy white flour pantry, creating a gigantic cloud that neutralizes the witch's vision and mobility. Gretel doesn't hesitate. She secures the threat by slamming the heavy wooden door shut and locking it tight with a giant iron key. When standard protocols collapse, a rigid hierarchy is a liability. Survival relies on a dynamic shift in leadership, depending on a partner's complementary strengths to break the deadlock. With the primary threat secured, Gretel shifts to extraction. She takes the iron key across the bakery, unlocks the thick sugar glass door, and reunites the two halves of the team. Before evacuating the hostile environment, they discover and acquire critical resources, a tiny wooden chest completely filled with glowing white pearls. Rather than trying to lay down a new static trail, they update their navigation strategy. They locate a sparkling glue stream and attach themselves to a continuous, natural guiding vector, a majestic white swan gliding gracefully on the water. Following the swan along the stream provides a safe, guided exit. The dark canopy of the deep woods slowly fades away, transitioning back into a lush green meadow illuminated by the bright afternoon sun. Enduring a high-threat scenario and executing a successful counterstrike transforms the subjects into tested, resourceful operators. Visual confirmation of their ultimate objective soon appears. In the distance, they can clearly see their familiar little wooden cottage. They reunite with their father, bringing back the glowing pearls. This acquisition permanently eliminates the family's foundational vulnerability, ensuring they will never face poverty or hunger again. Survival in a deceptive environment depends on these three interconnected nodes: recognizing structural traps, adapting to shifting variables, and maintaining an unbreakable reliance on unified team synergy.